So,
Hey man, shalom, shalom, man.
shit, just getting this reading on. Gonna wrap this Ezekiel up.
Yeah, man. Let me get my grab my Tanakh now. Just got off work and got the house to myself. So was going free. Saw you posting up these scriptures. I was about to do a little frequency meditation. Saw you came on with the reading, so I'm like, man, let me get that in.
What frequency you using?
Lately I've been using 963.
Oh yeah, actually, wait. I think it was 936. I found one a couple nights ago, and it was like it had waves. It was like what's it called? Binaural waves or something like that. 936, and people were saying it helped them sleep in it, but it also made them have like vivid dreams and stuff. So like, I never actually fell asleep to it. But I did have this like feeling though. It was like it was helping me fall asleep fast, but I turned it off and I switched to 432. But I might leave it on tonight.
It helps my kids sleep better, especially my son. Like he's man, if he don't get that. Like it's not he does it on purpose, but he can be up all night, man. Like so that helps that. But I like the 432 too. It's just sometimes too, but it just depends like what vibe or what I'm really trying to get. Like I know it's supposed to help remove negative energy too. So when I'm trying to you know manifest certain opportunities for myself in my life and stuff, I find 963s work better. But overall, like if I'll probably do a 432. Like overall, like in general, it's my 432 is a go to.
Yeah, 528 is good too. But like I've had some wild prayers slash meditations on the 432. See, I really like that one. It helps me kind of like get more in focus and tap in better. I also like how I would have some holy oils burning too while I was praying on them. Yeah, 432 probably my favorite.
And that's what I need. I need some incense. Um, I have a oil burner, but I need I've just some. It just depends on the mood. I need to get some frankincense and myrrh because I know that really helps out too. But I don't like the dry incense. Like I like the wet ones, and I mean people make wet ones because I kind of like mine's fresh. That's the only problem.
Yeah, I like the ones I like mixing frankincense because my girl got me the what was it 12 oils from the Bible, but it's missing the calamus. But besides that, I got everything else. So the ones I had a link that shows you everything, the properties for each oil, what they're good for. So I saw six of them that are all good for inducing meditations and stuff. And one of them is galbanum, and it has the lowest frequency of them all. But when you mix it, whatever you mix it with, it actually strengthens whatever you mix it with. So, and I actually found out that word is actually tied to my name. So the ones I mixed is it was frankincense, myrrh, um hyssop, sandalwood, galbanum. What was the other one? Myrtle. Damn, I can't remember right now, but they were all basically. And I made sure not to recreate any holy oils, but there was seven of them. And yeah, them things definitely. I could see how like when they was burning all the incense in the temple or whatever or the tent of meeting, I could see how if they was like in there in that thing praying or whatever, they'd probably they probably break into some visions or whatever with that shit, man. I could see how that shit would help them really get into the meditative state. Using those oils, it'll definitely help, bro. And it's just even just for the on a if you want to say carnal or what's it called a secular um a secular sense, like it definitely it also helps with the mood and calming down and sleep and all that shit. Damn, I actually had some hard frankincense right now. My boy brought it over, and that shit smells sweet as hell when you burn it on this hot coal.
One I was at the time in the sauna room. I had this Indian had some and he poured some on the hot rocks and I didn't know what it was at the time. But he had mentioned to me what it was and I didn't think nothing of it. And I was like, damn, that shit it just hit different. Like, kind of tired
You kind of
but rejuvenated. Like I felt rejuvenated after like being in there. Like
Hey, you read already?
nah, I just opened it like probably 7 minutes.
Yeah, I'm on the computer, so I had to turn off the notifications on here. That shit was bugging out.
Yeah, I was going to get through these 5 chapters and then leave a separate room for the temple stuff. Go into that. Just get this one out, this portion out the way. So we can get started now. Since I don't think it's been 10 minutes. Not too many people coming in.
yeah, there's some stuff going on, and then I think um it was a debate scheduled for today, so a lot of people might be up in there. Um,
No, we was reading every night and then listening to music every night about Yah. That jump keep getting interrupted, so everybody left. Even people got up off the app because they couldn't get away from it.
yeah, I just took a small break from here. Like even then, like probably gonna take another small one, maybe pop in for readings or something or important discussions. But you know,
Yeah, after I'm
but
finished the knock round, I'm gonna probably slide off for a little bit, yo. Right after we're done getting through the Malachi or Chronicles, whatever. Probably gonna take a break, man. Too much extra shit going on.
I told you if you want to, whenever you want, we can really read instead of all the other crap that goes on. I'd rather do that than you know what I'm saying?
hey, well, actually, never mind. I'll ask later after the title, after we read. It's going like so. But I can take the first 2 chapters or some or whatever, unless y'all just want to wait.
Shit, y'all can go through the whole thing. I read shit like 13 chapters last night straight through, and I don't know what it is when I read too much, my throat started like hurting. So like, if y'all want to go through it,
All
it's,
right,
it's all good.
so let me start this off. All right, here we are. It says Ezekiel 35. The word of Yah came to me, saying, Son of man, direct your face toward Mount Seir, and prophesy against it. Say to it, Thus saith the Lord, Yah, your Elohim, behold, I am against you, Mount Seir. I will stretch out my hand against you and make you desolate and a waste. I will make your cities into ruins, and you will be desolate. Then you will know that I am Yahweh, because you have eternal hatred, and you have caused the blood of the children of Israel to stream forth by the sword of the moment, at the moment of their disaster. at the time of the climatic sin. Therefore, as I have lived, the word of Yah Elohim, I swear that I will turn you to blood, and blood will pursue you. Surely thou you have hated bloodshed will pursue you. I will make Mount Seir desolate and a waste, and I will cut off from it those who come and go. I will fill his mountains with his corpse, your hills and your valleys and your streams. Those slain by the sword will fall in them. I will make you an eternal desolation, and your cities will never be restored. Then you will know that I am Yah. Because you said, the two nations and the two lands shall be mine, and we shall inherit them. But Yah was there. Therefore, as I live, the word of Yah Elohim, I will act according to your anger and act according to your vengefulness. For what have you done because of your hatred of them? Then I will become known among them when I judge you. Then you will know that I am Yah. I have heard all your provocations that you have spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying that they are desolate. They are presented to us to devour. You have exalted yourselves against me with your mouths, and have spoken your words excessively against me. I have heard. Thus saith Yah Elohim, when all the earth rejoices, I will make you desolate in accordance with your rejoicing that the heritage of the house of Israel have become desolate. So what I do to you, you shall be desolate. Mount Seir and every bit of Edom. Then they will know that I am Yah. Chapter 36. Now you, son of man, prophesy to these mountains of Israel and say, Mountains of Israel, hear the word of Yah. Thus saith the Lord, Yah your Elohim, because the enemy has said against you, Hurrah, hurrah, the heights of the world have become a heritage for us. Therefore prophesy and say, Thus saith the Lord, Yah your Elohim, because and again because there was astonishment and craving for you from all around, for you to become a heritage for the rest of the nations. You are taken up on every lip of each nation as the subject of the people's disparagement. Therefore, mountains of Israel, hear the word of Yah your Elohim. Thus saith the Lord Yah your Elohim to the mountains and to the hills, to the streams and to the valleys, to the desolate ruins, to the forlorn cities, which have been a scorn and derision for the remaining nations all around. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, Yah your Elohim. I swear that I have spoken in the fire of my vengefulness against the remaining nations and against all of Edom, who have arrogated my land to themselves as a heritage with the joy of all heart, with contempt of soul, because of Israel exposure and scorn. Therefore prophesy concerning the land of Israel, and say to the mountains and to the hills, to the streams and to the valleys, Thus saith the Lord, Yah your Elohim, Behold, I have spoken in my vengefulness and in my wrath, because you bore the shame of the nations. Therefore thus saith the Lord, Yah your Elohim, I have lifted my hand, swearing that the nations surrounding you will hear their shame. But you, O mountains of Israel, will give forth your branch and bear your fruit for my people Israel, for they are soon to come. For behold, I am with you, and I will turn my attention to you, and you will be tilled and you will be sown. I will make people numerous upon you, the entire house of Israel, all of it. The cities will be inhabited, and the ruins will be rebuilt. I will multiply man and animal upon you, and they will multiply and be fruitful. I will make you inhabited as the in your earlier times, and I will make it better than it was at your beginning. Then you will know that I am Yah. I will cause man to walk upon you, my people Israel, and they will inherit you. Then you will be theirs for a possession, and you will no longer be bereaved of them. Thus saith Yah to Elohim, because people say of you, you devour man, and you have become one who drives out the nations. Therefore, you will no longer devour people, and you will never again drive out your nations. The word of Yah, your Elohim. I will no longer allow derision of nations to be heard about you, and you will no longer hear the shame of the peoples, and you will never again cause your nations to be faltered. The word of Yah, your Elohim. The word of Yah came to me, saying, Son of man, the house of Israel will dwell on their land, and they have contaminated with their way and truth their acts. Their way has become like the contamination of the menstruous women before me. So I pour my wrath upon them, because of the blood that they had shed in the land, and because they had defiled it with their idols. I scattered them among the nations, and they were dispersed among the lands. According to their way and according to their acts did I judge them. They came among the nations where they came, and they desecrated my holy name when it was said of them, These are the people of Yah, but they departed his land. I took pity on my holy name, which the house of Israel had desecrated among the nations where they came. Therefore say to the house of Israel, Thus saith the Lord, Yah your Elohim, it is not for your sake that I act, O house of Israel, but for my holy names that you have desecrated among the nations where you came. I will sanctify my great name that is desecrated among the nations that you have desecrated among them. Then the nations will know that I am Yah, the word of the Lord, Yah your Elohim, when I become sanctified through you before their eyes. I will take you from among the nations and gather you from all the lands, and I will bring you to your own soil. Then I will sprinkle pure water upon you, that you may become cleansed. I will cleanse you from all your contamination and from all your idols. I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit within you. I will remove the heart of stone from your flesh and give you a heart of flesh. I will put my spirit within you, and I will make it so that you will follow my decrees and guard my ordinances and fulfill them. You will dwell in the land that I gave to your forefathers. You will be a people to me, and I will be a God to you. I will save you from all your contaminations. I will summon the grain and increase it. I will not inflict a famine upon you. I will increase the fruit of the tree and the produce of the field, so that you will no longer be subject to the shame of hunger among the nations. Then you will remember your evil ways and your deeds that were not good, and you will be disgusted with yourselves in your own sight because of your iniquities and because of your abominations. Not for your sake do I act, the word of the Lord, Yah your Elohim, let this be known to you. Be embarrassed and ashamed of your ways, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, Yah your Elohim, on that day when I cleanse you from all your iniquities, I will cause the cities to be inhabited and the ruins will be built. The desolated lands will be tilled instead of having them desolate in the eyes of every passerby. People will say, This very land which had been desolate has become like the Garden of Eden, and the ruined desolate and demolished cities have been fortified, inhabited. The nations that remain around you know that I, Yah, have rebuilt the ruins and I have replanted the wasteland. I, Yah, have spoken, I shall act. Thus saith the Lord Yah, Elohim. With this also I will relate to the inquiries of the house of Israel. To act for them, I will multiply them, the people like sheep, like consecrated sheep, like the sheep of Jerusalem on her festivals. So will the destroyed cities be filled with flocks of people? Then they will know that I am Yah. 36.
Gonna take.
What's up?
I was seeing a minute later gonna take
Where you at? 37.
con.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you hey, so you still want to break down the chapters we reading, right? Oh, Tori, if you want to break down what you read, I guess. Now I'm grabbing some words right now from 37, like bones and sinews and stuff.
Oh, uh, well, he wanted to read it through first, so but I mean, that's up to Soul, but I can just read it through, or I can
We can go into it while
break
we're
it
here.
down afterward.
Yeah,
What, chapter
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
36?
If you want to break down chapter 35 and 36, I'm still grabbing some words for 37. I'm about to go into that.
Okay. So let's go back to 35. So, just roughly paraphrasing, we get chapter 35. Ezekiel gets a word. This is a prophecy against Edom. You know, they had made fun of, you know, their brethren when they had went going and seeing what was bestowed upon them. And he was reminding them that he's against them, and that basically, you know, they're gonna be captives, and you know, the tail's gonna the head and the tail's gonna switch. So they're gonna be on the bottom, and Israel's gonna be over them. That's why he mentioned in verse. Let me get it here. Um, Let me get sorry. So yeah, I'm gonna start at verse 11 right here. To recap, it says, "Therefore, as I live, the word of Lord Yah Elohim, I will act according to your anger and according to your vengefulness for what you have done because of your hatred of them. Then I will become known among them when I judge you. Then you will know that I am Yah. Have heard all your provocations that you have spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying they are desolate, they are presented to us to devour. You have exulted against me with your mouths and have spoken your words excessively against me. I have heard." So Most High right here is reminding them like, yo, I don't think you didn't get away with all what you did. I heard everything you were saying and what you were doing. And so it's basically, you know, they on payback. All right. So when we get to chapter right here, 36, you're trying to see it still kind of still going on um from chapter 35, and then it goes a little bit more into letting Israel know, you know, about what's going to happen. And he's telling them, you know, although, yeah, y'all in captivity, but letting them know what happens when they come out, how they're going to be rebuilding the land. They're going to, you know, building new cities, how he's going to be with them, right? You even see Jeremiah 31, a little bit language in there. He's talking about give them with that new heart and a new spirit. Let me get to that verse right there. This is Ezekiel 36, verse, what was it? Second, where is it small in this Tanakh? This verse was it? It was I just read it. I'm trying to. Um, yeah, here it is. Sorry. So yeah, like I said, you see the continuation. They still going in on Edom, right? And then he talks to them. I'm gonna start at verse 24, right? So it says, "I will take you from among the nations and gather you from all the lands." Right. So that's all 127 provinces. They were scattered throughout. When the Assyrian took the northern kingdom, and then Nebuchadnezzar took over them and picked up the southern kingdom. Right. Says, I will take you from among the nations that you are nations and gather you from all the lands, and I will bring you to your own soil. Then I will sprinkle pure water upon you, that you may become cleansed. I will cleanse you from all your contamination and of your idols. I will give you a new heart. See, there's that Jeremiah, and put a new spirit within you. I will remove the heart of stone from your flesh and give you a heart of flesh. I will put my spirit within you, and I will make it so that you will follow my decrees and guard my ordinances and fulfill them. So you see a little bit of what Jeremiah was talking about right there in Jeremiah 31, that same language. And if anybody holds to the Apocrypha of Baruch, you can actually see that in the letter Jeremiah actually wrote before they went into captivity. And that's what and then you get further down to verse 33, it talks about how the city is going to be rebuilt and what they're going to be doing there, how the land was desolate, and then people are going to be, how they passed by and they said the land was desolate, and now they're going to pass by and see, you know, look like the Garden of Eve, as it made reference in verse 35, right? And that's where we get right there so far, and then we get, now we at chapter 37, which either I'm gonna read or Menelik's gonna read. Now you're gonna, of course, the popular one, the dry bones, right? We're gonna see what happens to the dry bones.
God, yeah. Hey, Shalom, man, tonight. But hey, so you can give me a beam, so I put these words up there. It say, "The hand of Yah was upon me. It took me by the Ruach of Adonai and set me down in the midst of the valley, and it was filled with bones." And like, let me grab this word for bones real quick. And be real quick. Give me 2 seconds, and we're gonna go into sinews and all. All right, my bad. That was annoying. It put me on mute when I went to the new tab. I'm still trying to figure out the computer. All right, so the word for bones, put it at the top or whatnot, and then when we go into it, it's etsem. The etsem is, it means like, it can mean like literal bones, or it could mean like strength or life. You know what I'm saying? And then it comes from atzam, which atzam means to like to shutteth up, or like to close the eyes tightly, or to like shut the eyes or close the eyes, or to make strong and mighty, or whatnot. Okay, so let's go back. So it says, and the hand of Yah was upon me, and it took me out by the Ruach of Yah, and set me down in the midst of valley, and it was filled with bones. He passed me over them all around and around, and behold, they were very numerous upon the face of the valley, and behold, they were very dry. Then he said to me, Son of man, can these bones come to life? And I said, Adonai Elohim, you know. He said to me, prophesy over these bones. Say to them, O dry bones, hear the word of Yah. Thus saith Yah, Adonai Elohim, to these bones, behold, I bring a ruach into you, and you will come to life. I will put sinews upon you. Let me grab sinews real quick. 1 second. Take literally 1 second. All right, so put sinews at the top just for the replays or whatnot. And so whenever they're watching, they click on it or whatever. Here's sinews. It's Gedim. The word is Gedim, but it's Gid. And then it comes from the word like Gavod. All right, so now let's go through it real quick. So Gid is like it could mean like literally like tendons or like or whatnot. But okay, when you go into the word it comes from, which is like gold, Gimel Wa Dalet, it means like to invade or to attack or to attack or invade or to crowd upon. So like the things that like we're seeing happen to them in Ezekiel, all of it's like it's like connected or whatnot. So like like the bones could mean to like have your eyes shut tightly or to be having strength or power, and it's like the bones were dry. So it's like they used to be strong, but could they like be strong again? And like he could like shut their eyes and like bring an attack upon them for them to like when he goes in to prophesy to the spirit or whatnot. Okay, so let's continue. It says I will put sinews upon you, I will bring flesh upon you, and I will coat you with skin. Then I will put a ruach into you, and you will come into life. Then you will know that I am Adonai. So I prophesied that I have been commanded. There was a sound as I was prophesying. Behold, there was a noise, and the bones drew near, each bone to bone. Right? So they like tried to come together even though they were like weak. Right? Then I looked, and behold, upon them were sinews, and flesh had come upon the skin and covered them over, but there was no ruach in them. Then he said to me, prophesy to the ruach, prophesy, O son of man, and say to the ruach, thus says Yah Adonai Elohim, come from the four directions, O ruach, and blow into these slain people, that they may come to life. I prophesied as I had been commanded, and the ruach entered them, and they came to life. They stood upon their feet, a very great legion. So we know like the ruach could like also be like the mind. So instead of like prophesying to like the physicality or whatever, like, yeah, we used to be strong because like the bones symbolize like strength or whatnot. But the sinews means like, or the bones could also mean to have like your eyes tightly shut. And then the sinews, like we said, okay, all right, let's go. So now he's like prophesy to the mind, like speak to their mind, like speak to their spirit. I prophesied as I had been commanded, and the ruach entered them, and they came to life. They stood upon their feet, a very, very great legion. He said to me, Son of man, these bones, they are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they are saying, our bones are dried out, and our hope is lost. We are doomed. Therefore prophesy and say to them, thus saith Yah Elohim, behold, I am opening your graves and raising you up from your graves, my people, and I will bring you to the soil of Israel. Then you will know that I am Yah, when I open your graves and when I raise you up from your graves, my people, and when I put my Ruach into you and you come to life and I set you on your soil. Then you will know that I, Yah, have spoken and I have fulfilled the word of Yah. So like, okay, this goes also with like Hosea 6:1, because it's like that three. So like the three, so you have like the one measurement where there were where the Ark of the Covenant was in the wilderness, and then they will walk behind it like 2,000 measures. One second, I need some water. They will walk behind it like 2,000 measures, so they were like literally and figuratively following the Torah wherever they went or whatnot, or following the Most High. So like Hosea 6:1, I think it goes like, "Come and let us return to Yah, for He has torn us. He will bind us up. He will revive us from the 2 days, and on the third day we will live before Him." So that, excuse me, that's like the three stages. Like laying down flat, like sleeping, the inward man dead, then like sitting up, like scratching their head, like pondering upon like what to do, and then the third step is like standing up and living before Yah. Okay, so the temple is also built that way. So like you have like the outer things where you have to like give things up before you can even enter inside. Um, where there's like Egyptian customs or like actual like sin or whatever, right? Um, and then you could enter inside, and then you have like the middle portion, and then you have like the higher portion where you're eating bread before Yah, standing before Yah, and this is what it's like. This is what it's talking about. All right, so thus saith Yah Elohim, behold, I am opening your graves and raising you up from your graves, my people, and I will bring you to the soil of Israel. So like the land flowing with milk and honey, you could look at the altar as like where you leave behind your Egyptian customs. It's like leaving out of captivity in Egypt and going to the promised land, the land flowing with milk and honey, the holy of holies. It's like that journey there, whatever, right? Because like the temple wasn't just like a building where they like just kill animals. It's not what it was. It was like literally teaching you like how to navigate your mind and like remove like sin from yourself. Like in Ezekiel 18, like cast away from yourselves all your transgressions where you have transgressed. Like it sounds easy, but like this is the map right here. You know what I'm saying? Like how to actually do it and whatnot. So like I said, like that journey from like the altar to the holy of holies or whatever, that could be looked at as like the land flowing with milk and honey, or like being in one's right mind with the Torah inside, the Most High sitting on the throne chair or whatnot, like having your mind in correct order, being like restored, like so, okay. When I open your graves and when I raise you up from your graves, my people, and when I put my Ruach into you and you come to life. So like there's like the three as well in Isaiah 11:2, like the Ruach of Yah will rest upon him, a Ruach of Da'at, Hokmah, and Bina, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. That's the same thing the temple is built in. It's like knowledge, wisdom, and understanding in all of the three parts. Then you have like the nine or whatnot. Okay, so, and I set you on your soil. Then you will know that I, Yah, have spoken and I have fulfilled the word of Yah. Because, okay, it's the Ruach of Yah will rest upon him, a Ruach of Da'at, Hokmah, and Bina. It's like the mind of Yah will rest upon him, a mind of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, a mind of heroism and counsel. And then the mind of Yah will animate him. That should be like verse 3 in Isaiah 11. Right? So, like, it's like bringing you back to like your right mind. Like, if you look up the word like psychosis, it literally breaks down the opposite of what I just said. Like, where it restores your mind. Like it's dealing with the like if you pull up like psychosis, it comes from like three different words. Or like one is like life, or I give life to, or like soul, and then like the last one is like animation or whatnot. Okay. The word of Yah came to me saying, now you, son of man, take for yourself one piece of wood and write upon it for Yahudah and for the Benai of Israel, his comrades, and take one piece of wood and write upon it for Joseph and for Ephraim. and for all the Bayath of Israel, his comrades. Then bring them close to yourself, one to the other, like one piece of wood, and they will become united in your hand. Now, when the children of your people say to you, saying, will you not tell us what these things are to you? Say to them, so this is what it means, and nothing else. Thus saith Yah Elohim, behold, I am taking the wood of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, his comrades, and I am placing them and him together with the wood of Judah, and I will make them into one piece of wood, and they will become one in my hand. The pieces of wood upon which you shall write shall be in your hand before their eyes, and say to them, thus said Yah Elohim, behold, I am taking the Benai of Israel from among the Goyim which they have gone. I will gather them from all around and bring them to their soil. I will make them into one nation upon the Arats, upon the mountains of Israel. And one Melech will be Melech for them all. One king will be king. They will no longer be two nations, and they will no longer be divided into two kingdoms ever again. They will no longer be contaminated with their idols and with their abhorrent things and with their sins. And I will save them, taking them from all their dwelling places in which they had sinned, and I will purify them. They will be a nation to me, and I will be a God to them. Right? So that's like the same thing like when Manasseh was rebuilding the outer wall for the city of David after he repented, right? He's doing like idolatry and all this shit. Okay. Um, but what he did was, if just like from memory, if I'm not correct or whatever, this is like, and now after this, he built a wall around the city of David, like on the west side of the Gihon, and he put it around the Ophel, wrapped it around the Ophel and around the fish gate, and put captains of war in the fenced cities of Judah. Right? Okay, so the first thing he did was start to rebuild the wall, and we literally see that in Nehemiah. Okay, so he starts to rebuild the wall, and then he wraps it all around the Ophel and around the fish gate. So like the water, like the Torah, like and then he basically puts captains of war in the fenced cities of Judah this time. So like not only is he like rebuilding the actual city, he's like refortifying his own mind. Like all these things are like teaching tools of like the mind. And then the last thing he did after that was he removed the idol from the house of the Lord. Where's the idol? Is it actually in the house of the Lord, or is it in his mind that makes it an idol? So all this stuff makes sense. All right, so it says, then they will no longer be contaminated with their idols and their abhorrent things and with all their sins. I will save them, taking them from all their dwelling places in which they have sinned, and I will purify them. They will be a nation to me, and I will be Elohim to them. And my servant Dawid will be Melech over them, and there will be one shepherd for all of them. They will follow my ordinances and keep my decrees and fulfill them. Right? And because that's like Deuteronomy 28:58, where it's like, if you do not fulfill all the words of this Torah, then all these things will happen. Right? Okay. They will dwell on the land that I gave to my servant Yaakov, within which your fathers dwell. They and their children and their children's children will dwell upon it forever. So that's like Devarim 11, where he's like, write these words of mine upon your heart and upon your soul, and bind it for a sign upon your hand and ornament between your eyes. Like that doesn't mean to put a box on your head and a gimp strap on your arm. That literally means like write the words upon the intellectual portion of your mind and the emotional portion of your mind, because both of them should convince you to do what Yah says. And then he says, bind it for a sign upon your hand, so your hand moves according to the word, and then an ornament between your eyes, so your eyes like see according to like what it's telling you to do. So like when he's like what Tori read in Ezekiel 36:26, I believe, where it's like a new heart I will give you, and I will remove your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh, right? And then my ruach I'll put within you. All right, let me actually look at it real quick so I can get the correct wording. 36:26. I will give you a new heart and put a new ruach within you, so like a new mind. And I will remove your heart of stone from your flesh and give you a heart of flesh, and I will put my ruach in you. And I will make it so that you follow my decrees and guard my ordinances and fulfill them. So like the Torah or whatnot, Like the Song of Moses was on the outside of the ark on the right side. That's Devarim 31. And then the actual like instructions and the commandments and all that, the mitzvah was inside of the ark. So it's like representing like the mind and whatnot. And the throne chair of the Most High, the two cherubim and whatnot. Okay, so like, um, so when he says he will give you a heart of flesh and remove the heart of stone, that's because like they were like relying on these tablets. Like they weren't writing it upon their heart and their soul or whatnot. They were just like relying on the tablets. So like when they removed it, write these words upon your heart and upon your soul and bind it for a sign upon your hand. All this stuff that we're reading in the prophets is literally in the Torah. Like if you actually dig deep enough in the Torah, all this stuff that he's saying in the prophet is literally, you should be able to figure out what was going to happen. So okay, so it's removing like the tablets, but like writing it upon your heart and your soul. It's not literally your heart. It's literally the emotional pocket of your mind. So like the frontal lobe is dealing with the cognitive executive. It's called executive functions, and the executive functions deal with like judgment, decision making, the ability to plan, to reach a goal, self monitor. And everybody would be like, yeah, I have that, but like without the Torah, we don't. So like the Torah like replenishes that, like everything we just been reading, like literally, because that's how the Most High is going to do it. He's not just like magically restoring them. Like it's not what's happening. It's they're when they return to the Torah, all these things will be good again. That's Deuteronomy 28. Literally, it's all in the Torah. So the frontal lobe, those are the executive functions, and the Torah actually restores those things. Um, and the executive functions actually control voluntary movement and expressive language. So like literally, we're like a remote control car for the nations without the Torah, right? So like the Torah also like deals with the mind in other ways, where like on your cell phone, if you download an app and you don't have space, a filtration system pops up. You can delete this, or this to make room for this. Like our minds work exactly the same way, but we don't have a filtration system. We just have limited space. But the Torah tells you, hey, take this out, put this in. Take this out, put this in. That's literally how the neurons in our brain works. The little bit of energy it takes to open a neuron wall, right? And all it does is exchange information. It puts in new information, it puts out old information. That's literally all they do. And then they're like all connected to communicate with each other and like process ideas and thoughts and functions in the brain or whatnot. Okay, so like the central nervous system, your brain and your spinal cord and your nerves going through your body. Then you have the nafesh, which literally it could mean like mind or it could mean like soul. According to Vayikra 17:11 through 14, the nafesh is the blood. It literally is the blood. Um, and your heart is pumping that through your body without you being consciously aware of making it beat. Like you don't consciously make yourself breathe while you're sleeping or make your heart beat. Like that's a function of the brain. But what tells your brain to do that? It's the soul. It's the nafesh. That's the breath of life being breathed back into them right here that we're reading here. And that's what happens when they go to the temple. The animal is signifying themselves. You like the first cut is like the neck or the throat to release the breath, the same breath of life that Elohim breathed into Adam to make him a living nafesh, right? And then he breathes it back in with the smoke that rises. It's a pleasant aroma to his nostrils, literally in the scriptures, right? And then he breathes his ruach into them. So as they're entering the temple, it's not just a physical thing. Like they're having these things in their mind. Like, oh wow, this is why we don't sin. So we can have this like high science above all the other nations, how to navigate our mind to have full control over the frontal lobe of our brain, which is everything that the IQ test tests for. So right now on the earth, the Ashkenazi have the highest IQ in the world according to them, right? But with the Torah, like yo, we see like we're excelling past college and stuff. Like the Torah really, Psalms 19, the Torah of Yah is perfect. It restores the mind or the soul, the nafesh. The testimony of Yah is faithful, making the simple one wise, right? The Ruach HaKodesh, the mind of Yah in Isaiah 11 that we read. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. A mind of heroism, counsel. This is what's happening to them right here. Like, it's not just like Okay, I will put sinews upon you and bring flesh upon you, and I will coat you with skin, and I will put Rawak into you, and you will come into life. Then you will know that I am Yah. Because they're finally going to become awake. Like the same thing we all did when we came into like the truth. Or we're not like, we're like, yo, like, especially when we come like Yah only and stuff. We're like, yo, like, what was we doing? Like, you finally awake. You see what I'm saying? Like actually like awake. You feel me? So I prophesied that I've been commanded, and there was a sound as I was prophesying. Then behold, there was a noise, and the bones drew near to each bone, to its matching bone. Then I looked, and behold, upon them were sinews, and the flesh had come up, and the skin had covered them, but there was no rawak in them. Then he said to me, prophesy to the rawak, or to the mind, and that's what we need to do to like wake up like the higher conscious or thought of what we're dealing with in the book, right? It's like you prophesy to the mind, like the intellect, the frontal lobe of the brain. You actually like perform like touchless neurosurgery, like literally. Okay, so prophesy to the rawak, prophesy, O son of man, and say to the rawak, thus says Yah Elohim, come from the four sides of directions and blow into these slain people, they may come to life. I prophesied as I had been commanded, and the Spirit entered them, and they came to life, and stood up on their feet, a very great legion. All right, so let's go back down to exactly where we were at. Thus saith Yah Elohim, behold, I am taking the children of Israel from among the nations to which they have gone. I will gather them from all around and will bring them to their soil, and I will make them into one nation in the land, like knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, the mind, the holy of holies of the mind, like the mind, bro, the mind, land flowing milk and honey. And one king will be for king to them all, and there will no longer be two nations. They will no longer be divided into two kingdoms ever again. They will no longer be contaminated with their idols, with the abhorrent things, and with all their sins. I will save them, taking them from all their dwellings which they had sinned, and I will purify them. They will become a nation to me, and I will become Elohim to them. And my servant David will be Melech over them, and there will be one shepherd for all of them, and they will follow my ordinances and keep my decrees and fulfill them. And that's literally like what we're stumbling across in Ezekiel 43, where he's like, yo, show this temple to the house of Israel before it's even built. And he's like, show it, like, show the house to the house of Israel, and they'll be ashamed of their iniquities. Let them measure its plan. Like, yo, like, let them measure just the outward pattern, the outward things. And he's like, if they be ashamed of all they have done, show them the form of the house, the comings and goings thereof, the entrances and exits thereof. For what? The presence of Yah leaving and entering. And then write it down all in their sight, the statutes and ordinances of the house and all the laws, and then they will be able to perform it. And say, round about the mountain shall be most holy. Behold, this is the teaching of the house. It's the mind, bro. All right, so then they will dwell on the land, verse 25, that I gave to my servant Jacob, within which your forefathers dwelled. And they and their children and their children's children will dwell upon it forever. Because if their mind is straight, they'll never break the Torah again. They'll be there forever. Like that's what he was trying to do for us. And my servant David will be a leader for them forever. I will seal a covenant of shalom with them, and there will be an eternal covenant with them, and I will place with them and increase them. And I will place my sanctuary among them forever. My dwelling place will be among them. I will be an Elohim to them, and they will be a people to me. So that's like Ezekiel 43 and 7. Like he's having a vision. He said vision like 5 times. It's either verse 5 or 6. Like the vision that I had, the vision when I came to the river Kibar and fell upon my face, a vision like the vision I had when I came to destroy the city. And he's like, Elohim spoke to me from within the house. Like, bro, where is that if he's having a vision, bro? And he said, son of man, this is the place of my throne. This is the place of the soles of my feet where I will dwell amongst the children of Israel forever, ever, ever. All right, so they say, I will place my sanctuary among them forever. My dwelling place will be among them. I will be Elohim to them, and they will be a people to me. Then the nations will know that I am Adonai who sanctifies Israel, when my sanctuary will be among them forever. Why? Because of that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Devarim 4. The Torah is going to be your wisdom and understanding in the sight of all nations. They will come to you because they say you're the only wise and understanding people on the earth. And it says, is that it? Well, that's it. Verse 38, chapter 38. The word of Yah came to me, saying, son of man, direct your face towards Gog in the land of Magog, the prince and leader of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy concerning him, say, thus saith Yah Adonai Elohim, behold, I am against you, Gog, the prince leader of Meshech and Tubal. I will lead you astray, and I will place hooks into your cheeks and bring you out with your entire army, horses and riders, all of them clothed in splendor, a vast assembly with buckler and shield, all of them wielding swords. Persia, Cush, and Put will be with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all her cohorts in the house of Tagarmah, and the utmost parts of the north and all its cohorts. Many peoples will be with you. Prepare and make yourself ready, you and all your hordes that have mustered about you, and be a guardian for them. You will be repaid for your sins of the ancient times. And the end of years you will come to a land restored from the sword, gathered from many nations upon the mountains of Israel that had lain desolate continuously, to people who have been brought from other nations, and all of them dwelling in security. You will attack like a storm, you will come. You will be like a cloud covering the earth, you and all your cohorts and all the many nations with you. Thus says Adonai Elohim, it will be on that day that ideas will arise in your heart, and you will conceive a wicked design. You will say, I will advance against a land of open towns. I will come against the tranquil people who dwell securely, all of them living without a protective wall. See that protective wall? And what was it? Second Chronicles 33. Okay. They have no defense. Okay, so they have neither bars nor doors, to seize booty and to take spoils, to turn your hand against the settled ruins, against the people gathered from the nations which possess livestock and property, who dwell upon the navel of the earth. Sheba, Dedan, the merchants of Tarshish, and all the officers will say to you, have you come to seize booty? It is to take the spoils that you have assembled your hordes, to carry off silver and gold, to take livestock and property, to seize great booty. Therefore prophesy, son of man, and say to God, thus saith Adonai Elohim, surely on that day when my people Israel dwell securely, you will come to know. When you come from your place in the uttermost parts of the north, you and many peoples with you, all of them riding horses, a vast horde, a mighty army, and you advance against my people like Israel, like a cloud covering the earth. It will be at the end of days that I will bring you upon my land, in order that the nations may know me, when I become sanctified through you before their eyes, O God. Right? So, like, you don't really need the book of the prophets to know that the Most High is going to come and get you. Because why does he come save you? Because there was a prophecy that said so? No, it's because he said in the Torah he saves you for his own name's sake, so that the other foolish goyim around us will not say, "Where's your Elohim now?" That's why he's gonna. That's how you know he's gonna save you. It's common sense. All right, so thus saith Adonai Elohim, are you the one of whom I spoke in the earlier days through my servants, the prophets of Israel, who prophesied in those days years ago, that I will bring you against them? It shall be on that day that God comes against the soul of Israel, the word of Adonai Elohim, my raging anger will flare up. For in my vengefulness and the fire of my fury I have spoken. I swear on that day a great earthquake will take place upon the soil of Israel. They will quake before me, the fish of the sea, the birds of the Hashemayim, the beasts of the field, every creeping thing that creeps on the ground, every human being that is on the face of the earth. The mountains will be broken apart, and the cliffs will topple, every wall will topple to the ground. I will summon the sword against him to all my mountains. The word of Adonai Elohim, each man's sword will be against his brother. I will punish him with pestilence and with blood, torrential rain and hailstones. Fire and sulfur will I rain down upon him, and upon his cohorts, and upon the many peoples who are with him. I will be exalted, I will be sanctified, and I will make myself known before the eyes of many goyim, and they will know that I am Adonai. Hey, somebody want to take 39? I need
All
to get
right,
some water.
I'll finish it up. I'll finish it out. Slow day, huh? Now you, son of man, prophesies against God. Say, thus saith the Lord Yah Elohim, behold, I am against you, God, the prince, leader of Meshach and Tubal. I will lead you astray and seduce you. I will cause you to ascend from the uttermost north and bring you upon the mountains of Israel. I will strike your bow from your left hand and cast you down, and your arrows from your right hand. You will fail upon the mountains of Israel, you and all your cohorts and the people that are with you. I will give you to the bird of prey, to every winged bird, and to the beasts of the field as food. You will fall upon the open field, for I have spoken. The word of the Lord, Yah Elohim. I will dispatch a fire against Magog and against those who dwell confidently in the islands. And they will know that I am Yah. I will make my holy name known among my people Israel, and I will not desecrate my holy name any longer. Then the nations will know that I am Yah, the Holy One in Israel. Behold, it is coming and it will happen. The word of the Lord of Yah Elohim. This is the day of which I have spoken. Then the inhabitants of the cities of Israel will go out and kindle fires and fuel them with their weaponry, shield and buckler, with bow and with arrows, with mace and spear. They will fuel fires from them for 7 years. They will not carry wood from the field, and they will not cut it from the forest, for they will fuel fires with their weaponry. They will plunder those who have plundered them, and despoil those who have despoiled them. The word of the Lord Yah Elohim. It shall be on that day I will assign Gog a brutal site there in the Israel, the valley of the passerby, east of the sea. It will be blocked by the passers by, and they will bury Gog in all his multitude, and call it the valley of Hamongog, which is Gog's multitude. The house of Israel will bury them in order to cleanse the land for 7 months. All the people of the land will bury, and it will bring them renown. On the day that I manifest my glory, the word of the Lord, Yah, Elohim, they will designate permanent officials to pass through the land, burying together with the passerbys those who remain upon the open field, to cleanse the land. After 7 months, they will begin to search. The passerbys will, will traverse the land, and whom, when they see a human bone, they will build a marker near it until the buriers bury it in the valley of Hamongog. There also will be a city called Hammanath, her multitude. Thus they will cleanse the land. Now you, son of man, thus saith the Lord Yah Elohim, say to every winged bird and to every beast of the field, assemble and come, gather together from all around for my feast that I slaughtered for you, a great feast upon the mountains of Israel. Call flesh and drink blood. Eat the flesh of the warriors and drink the blood of the earth's princes. All of them like rams, lambs, and he goats, bulls, and fawns of Bashan. Eat fat to sanctify, and to drink blood to intoxication from my feast that I have slaughtered for you. Sate yourselves at my table with horse and rider, warrior and every man of war, the word of Yah Elohim. I will manifest my glory among the nations, and all the nations will see my judgment that I have executed and had my hand that I have placed upon them. Then the house of Israel will know that I am Yah, their power, from the day and onward. Then the nations will know that because of their iniquity, the house of Israel was exiled, because they betrayed me, and I hid my countenance from them. And I will deliver them into the hand of their enemies, and they fell by the sword, all of them. I dwelt with them in accordance with their contamination and their sins, and I hid my countenance from them. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yah Elohim, now I will bring back the captivity of Jacob and show mercy to the entire house of Israel and be zealous for my holy name. They will bear their shame and know all their betrayal that they committed against me when they dwelt securely upon their soil, and none will make them afraid. When I return them from the people and gather them in front from the land of their enemies, and I become sanctified through them in the eyes of many nations, then they will know that I, Yah, their Elohim, for I have exiled them to the nations, and I will bring them to their land, and will not leave any of them there. Then I will not hide my countenance from them again, for I will pour out my spirit upon the house of Israel, the word of Yah, the Elohim. That's concludes chapter 39.
And all praise to the Most High.
All praise.
Tough crowd today.
Every day.
But yeah, like I said, yo, if y'all are down to just read like whenever we're on here instead of doing like other stuff, I'll be down for that. Like just read, bro. Like if you want to start another Torah cycle while we're doing the prophets, bro, like let's do it, bro.
Yeah, more reading is always good because some reason people don't want to read. They just want to parrot what they hear and shit. So
Well, yeah, that's
reading
the
gives
thing.
you
Like
clarity.
that's the thing. Like the prophecies or whatever, they play out or however they played out or they're gonna play out or whatever. That's gonna happen however the Most High feel like making it happen. Like but what's important is like Joshua 1:8. Because like okay, that Deuteronomy 28:58. If you do not fulfill all the words of this Torah, then all these things will happen, right? But Joshua 1:8 is like, do not let the book of this Torah depart from your mouth. You shall meditate upon this Torah night and day, right? And then you will be able to do all the things that are written in it. And then you will find your way and have good success. And like when you couple that with like Proverbs 4, where it talks about do not take your eyes or your ears away from, or your heart away from my word. Proverbs 28, do not take your ears away from my word. Psalms 1 say the same thing as Joshua 1:8. Like, like yo, like it's basically saying like obsess over the Torah night and day. Like there's only night and only day. You know what I'm saying? Like all that other stuff, like I don't really care about.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, the salvation is just the most important part for me. Just getting His word and keeping His Torah. I mean, when it all comes down to it, that's what matters. Because that's there's no need to break down that. There's no breakdown for that. Don't have to break it down about not stealing from somebody or loving your neighbor, idolatry. You don't need no breakdown for that. Simple.
Yeah. Hey, tomorrow gonna be wild because they was getting into it about Ezekiel earlier. So we about to run through a soul. If you want to, let's do 40 through. Let's see. Let's see, because there's like a lot of things I can go into from these few chapters, from 40 through 48. There's a lot. Let's do 40 through like 44. So we spent some time on like 40, and then 43 and 44. And then then the next day let's go through like 47 because then we could do like that walking on water stuff, and then that Psalms 1, meditate upon the Torah, his desires in the Torah. He will meditate upon the Torah night and day. And then 47, the trees that are on either side of that river, because in Psalms 1 it say he will be planted as a tree beside the river of water that brings forth its fruit. And we could go through that in 47 as well. And then 47 also goes into like the inheritance, I believe, for the landmass or whatnot. And then 48, the next, we go to 48 next. But yeah, I love the book of Ezekiel, man. That's my favorite.
You want to do 40 through 44 after this room? Start a new room?
If you want to do it tomorrow,
All right, yeah, we can do tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with me today. I got like allergies bothering me or something. But yeah, like I said, bro, if you guys want to start another Torah cycle while we do this, just so we don't get caught up in like other crap, bro, because that shit's really like annoying to me. I'd rather just read with y'all, like to be real with you, or just read, bro. Like, okay, so this like there's some science to like okay the Torah portions, like because if you got like the stones and it's broken down in portions or parshas or whatever, if you read like 7 Torah portions on a day, in 7 days you'll read the entire. Well, okay, let me do the math real quick. There's like okay, like roughly like 40 something portions. So like if you were to do 7 portions a day, you would finish 7.5 days, like halfway to the 8th day or whatever they would call or whatnot. So there's a mathematics behind it or whatever. So like the Jewish community, they read the Torah like once a week with each other, and they complete it like once a year as like a unit. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we used to read the Torah every day. Well, I mean, I still read the Torah every day, but like that's why we used to like all like get in a group and read the Torah every day. Because if you read it every day, you'll read it 7 times in a year. Like, and that's like moving slow. Like it's a portion a day. And then like when we read the Torah like 7 times with each other, like, bro, there's no more arguments and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like we'd be looking at everybody crazy for arguing with us. We'd be like, bro, come on, bro. Like we done read this so many times with each other, bro. Like stop, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's how the y'all only community really need to be.
Yep, Torah the remedy. So they own them wish.com people. They only read Torah. They don't never go through the rest of the Tanakh.
Okay, so like okay, when you're reading in the Tanakh, you ever see like Haftarah on the side?
Yeah, yeah.
Like before? Yeah, they'll read those with the portions or whatnot. And then like the weird ones they'll read the New Testament with it. But yeah, like we could go into the Haftarahs and all that or whatnot as well. Like, and that's the thing, like bro, like even if it's just like me and you and like, and that's the thing, like that's what Zaya's waiting for. Like he just wants to read the Torah. But and Akim will read as well. Like even if it's just like a few of us, you feel me? Like I don't care, bro. Like there's only like a small remnant. You know what I'm saying? Like you see, like today, like there's hella confusion about Ezekiel, but it's like super simple. Like once we run through it, like you'll see it. Like I was trying to show them that what was it Ezekiel 45, where it talks about the land having a special portion for the holy of holies for like houses for the Levites. It wasn't just for like the regular Levites. Those other Levites have a different land allotment or whatever around the borders in Ezekiel 48. But this was talking about the sons of Zadok. Where they were messing up at is where they were thinking there was like a million sons of Zadok. Like, bro, like there's only one high priest. So when it's talking about giving them that portion to live there, it's literally just one person at a time. You feel me? So, and then when you go down further, it talks about multiple princes, but then it talks about a one prince first, and like that's the Kohen Gadol, whatever or whatnot. But like they were kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Because they okay, without the Nazir, bro, they're not gonna get it. Like I know you get it, like literally, like the first time I say shit, I know you get it because you're a Nazir. That's how it goes. But like they're like without that vow or that oath to the Most High, he ain't gonna show them nothing. And it sounds messed up to say that, but it's like true. They're actually going after their thoughts and their vain imaginations when like we ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like without the Nazir, bro, they're not gonna get anything. That's literally that's your covenant with the most like the covenant with Israel. Okay, fine, but like your own personal covenant with him. That's something different. Like that's the remnant. And you see all the prophets that he was taken out of captivity, they all turned to him and made an oath to him, bro. Like they all like swore to repent. Like you could literally see it. Um, they all confessed the sins of them and their fathers and repented. Like, how do you repent without making that? Like, that's Judah Nazareth goes into it a lot. Like, um, I forget what he said. Like, to follow Jesus, you don't really have to do anything. Like, you make an oath to Jesus, but like to follow like Onias the third or like any high priest or to walk the path of a Nazarite, you make an oath to Yahweh to keep the Torah. It's like two completely different things, night and day. So like without that oath, you see what I'm saying? When we was all in Christianity or Messianic Judaism, whatever the hell we was doing before, we had like an oath to Jesus, and that's what the New Testament's about, making a damn oath to Jesus. Um, but when we left from that, only some of us made an oath to Yahweh to like keep the Torah. You feel me? Like that's serious business.
Most def.
But yeah, me and Asia are working on because I have a website or whatever Ethiopia World Federation website. I have a website, but like um I'm building it back up to where like we could use it just for like a learning environment or whatever. And like you know, I don't know what's up with my allergies, bro. I'm like coughing and sneezing and stuff. But we run through it a couple more times or whatever. And then bro, like we could like start putting real lessons on there, you know what I'm saying, for like genuine people and stuff like and it's a controlled environment, bro. Like there ain't gonna be millions of maniacs on there. You feel me? Like that's what we're working on right now.
Yeah, that's dope. That's how it gotta be. Just have a virtual classroom and the teachers teach, the speakers speak, and then everybody just sit down and just be quiet. And basically like a real classroom. That's how it gotta be.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I had to take some time away from Zaya and them so I could go through that damn yeshiva so I could get like some papers or whatever. Like I'm technically a rabbi, bro. Like, but I didn't do that to like join them niggas. I did that so we could like give it to our people. You feel me? So we could like do the vaccination papers, the religious hair papers and stuff like that. You feel me?
What you mean like the exemption, the vaccination exemption?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I went through it for that. Man, that junk was painful, bro. Like it was, it's like kind of like this. After the classes, it's kind of like being on here on the Zoom. Like the teacher will leave or whatever, or like go do something, and like all the other students will be there. And it was a West African yeshivas, all type of that Nigerian brothers and stuff like that in there. And they already knew I was going to get on them after the class. I'm like, they're like, oh, Kominalek. What are you talking about now, Mina? Like, I'll be like, where is this in the Torah with all that Talmud stuff you're talking about? You know what I'm saying? They used to be like, Mina, like, how come you don't wear yarmulke? I'm like, bro, I got the crown of God on my head. What I need a yarmulke for? You feel me? Like, they'd be like, and I'd show it to them in the scripts. They'd be like, oh, Mina, like,
Yeah, one of my boys, he actually has Ashkenaz, like somewhere. It's not really. Is it his? I think it's his dad's. Somewhere on his dad's side, but it's not really his blood though. Like his dad's stepdad or something like that. So I guess he said he can claim land over there, but he'd have to basically convert. So that's keeping him from doing that, which I understand that. But it's not even really the real land anyway. But he was he was contemplating doing the same kind of trying to kind of infiltrate their system kind of type reconnaissance type shit and get some free land just because just for having ties to him or whatever.
yeah, I got a weird. Well, I'm not gonna say it on here, but you know, my kid's mother, like they're Beta Israel, Mizrahi, and Ashkenazi, right? All like so like I have like a weird relationship with like the Jewish people on here because like they're like halakhically Jewish, and I refuse to convert. You see what I'm saying? Like, because I feel like I don't have to. I go through Ethiopian World Federation. That junk was established before the state of Israel, so we have our own conversion process, which is the Nazarite vow. It's like it's official stuff. You see what I'm saying? Like, so I have like a weird relationship with them Jewish people on here. Like, half the time they'd be scared of me, and then the other half they'd be like, "Menelek, save us from this Yahweh Shai Hashem guy," and I'm like, "All right, fine."
Yeah, I told him and a couple dudes that's still on the camp shit. I told them about that. Like, y'all, come on this side. Like, stop with all the bullshit. Come with the y'all only shit, man. And yeah, I think one dude stopped talking to me because of that Ethiopian shit. And I was like, man, the original camps, there, man, you can clearly see what they was doing. It's not what these motherfuckers doing, man. But you talk about the camps, and a lot of people kind of they think you a bug out type shit. So it's whatever, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you seen what the Abu Bivens was on last night. I'm talking about circles. The Edomites are the ministers of Yahweh. You gonna get punished if you don't serve them. Like, bro, like that's some straight Jesuit. Like, bro, like that's crazy stuff. When they get to the roots of the movement, they'll see. Well, like that's the thing, though. That's the beautiful thing, brother. Saul, and that's why I be getting frustrated with them brothers, is because they're gonna realize one day that this stuff we stumbled upon is true. And it's like I'm not gonna have no grudges against them and stuff like that. But I'm gonna be like, bro, you didn't see how your ass was acting, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, so I kind of learned how to deal with it uh, from like Judah, because Judah's been telling them this crap for like 30 years. Half of these dudes on this app that are Yah only now, they used to make fun of him for telling them that it was Yah only. They call him gay and all type of stuff, bro. Make fun of his children, his wife, for telling them the truth. So like now, he just gonna make fun of you instead. Like he's not going like he'll let you come on the channel and the young brothers will beat them up in the scriptures, or like Zaya or me if I'm there. Um, but like we'll let them say their crazy stuff, bro. And like everybody in the chat is like, "Yo, you can't be serious." Like it's kind of like it's like a more lighthearted way of bringing them to the truth, bro. It's just like you just make fun of them, bro. Like, come on, bro. You an Israelite, bro. What you talking about this ain't Jesus stuff, bro? Come on, bro. But yeah, I was, hey man, that Nazarite vow is something serious, bro. And like, this is the observation I've had. Once you take it, you start to become more cautious about things. Where like, look, you and Isaac don't be jumping out there trying to debate everybody because you're like, bro, like, I ain't trying to get, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do all that. But like, the Most High, He protects you, bro. Like, they don't get it. Like, when you get that crown of God on your head and they're like debating or trying to debate me or whatever they be trying to do on here, they're literally debating against the Torah. You can't win. Like I'd be like, bro, come. I'm like, yo, come on, bro. Like you can't. It says that no razor will come across your head, bro. Like you're not gonna get cut. It's impossible because I'm not in it for that. Like I'm in it. Like what I say, like you know, what I'm saying, like, bro. I've never brought out a complicated thing or question to anybody, like ever. I don't ever be trying to do that. Like it's simple stuff, bro. Like it's like little simple questions, and it's for them to like back off, not to have like a. And that's what I be trying to do. So like when we're like just chilling in the room, and then like somebody comes in, like trying to look for some argument or whatever, I just confound them with one question so that they could stop, not to have like a long drawn out thing with them. It's just like one question to make them stop and just like rethink themselves. You know what I'm saying? And like that's why like a lot of like the like a lot of the y'all only Israelites even like they don't like me because like I'll be in the rooms with them before and like when we're all cool or whatever, and then like we're talking to the Christians, I'll go straight into that. What is Jesus's name and where is he? And it's like it's a psychological circle. And when the person's not being honest with you, it's not very entertaining, but it's like serious business. They'll be like, "Oh, come on, man! Like, stop, man!" I'm like, "What do you mean, stop? Like, that's how you do it. You tell us what his name is and where he is, or you give it up." But it's a circle depending on how honest they are. They'll say, "I don't be doing like." I mean, I could do the entertainment stuff. Like that's where I learned it. It was like having YouTube streams years ago where all the camp dudes would send their representative to the channel to try to disrupt me, and I just confound them with one question. Like, "Yep, see you later. Let's continue with the lesson." You see what I'm saying? So I didn't ruin the video with the argument. Just get them up out of there with one question. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing, bro. Like, I'm not really with all the debating stuff. That stuff's annoying to me. But like, if somebody challenges me, I'll debate them though. But like, I'm not out here looking for all that crap, man. Like, I'm not trying to do all that. That stuff's annoying to me, bro. I'm just trying to like learn, bro. Like, you see, like, I'll be in Shar's and them's room, and I'll ask them all the time to correct me on the Hebrew. Like, if you catch me like sometimes real early in the morning, I'll be on there listening to them read, and I'll go up there and I'll like pick their brain. Like, be like, "Yo, I'm gonna read this. Can you like help me pronounce it correctly, or whatever?" And like, I'll let them correct me, bro. Like, I don't be like on that stupid stuff, bro. But at the same time, everybody got their strong suit. Like, they know the language and stuff. But when they're like translating the language, right? They'll read the Hebrew side, and I'll be like, "What does that mean?" And they'll just read the English side and be like, "It means that." And I'm like, "Bro, there ain't no point in learning the language that way." Like, you see what I'm saying? So
Yeah, because even when it was reading, I forgot what book it was, but pointed out that it said something different in that one spot. I forgot what book it was.
yeah, kind of like the way that you've heard me break down the like an intro to like the Lashon Hakodesh language, like how it's like constructed or whatnot. Like yo, that language is like the periodic table. Like the word salt don't mean anything, but like the periodic table letter words for it mean like water don't mean nothing, but like H2O means something. Like you can see what it means, what it's made out of. Like that's how I be like going into the language and stuff. Like I'm not that like that's the thing. Like the pronunciations and shit like that don't really matter. Like because like you've already seen it. Like we'll have like a J-Wish dude come in the room, and I'll be like, read this and tell me what it means, and they don't even know. So it's like you see what I'm saying? There's no point in learning the language like that. The language is like to like literally expand everything. Like you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm glad you came on though, because I was like, because I turned my notifications off on the computer because it like makes it freeze for me or something. But I was like scrolling through this thing trying to find y'all. Like I'm like, man, they got to be reading by now. Like you know what I'm saying? I was like, thank God, because all these other rooms, bro, effeminization of straight black men. Uh, it's like, bro, can black people fight against white supremacy? Is Arab a race? Like, bro, like the app be dead when y'all not on here, bro. Because like they don't get it, bro. It's like, well, how can I explain it? It's Hellenized Judaism. It's the easiest way that I could explain it. It's Hellenized Judaism. They're like trying to mix the culture that they had before with the culture that they're taking on now. And like the Nazarites, like we despise that crap. Like we just want to be an Israelite, like so bad. So it's like these other rooms, bro. Like look at this, bro. Like, are so people Arab for religious and political superiority? What steps do we need to take? How do we evaluate AMW? Like, I don't even know what this stuff is. Like, bro,
Yeah, there's one
like,
called Get to the Yams.
that's all I'm saying, bro. Like, there's this dude on here named Long Dickum Drop Kickum, and like, I be seeing the Israelite sisters in there. Like, he be like, women ain't worth nothing, and like they be in there, he be cussing them out. Like, they follow him. Like, I'm like, yo, this is bugged out. Like, Hellenized Judaism at its finest, bro. Like, so it's like I could only really relate to like y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, this app be dead, bro. And I don't know how many times we brought out that the Nazarite vow is basically the mandatory, but it's like they don't believe in it, bro. Like we'll literally show them, if you do not fulfill all the words of this Torah, then this will happen. And then we'll read the net, like, how do you dedicate yourself to Yahweh according to this book? The only place that you'll find that, if anyone wants to dedicate themselves to Yah, this is what you do. It's literally in the book of Numbers. That's it. It's like, oh, so this ain't part of the Torah? Like, bruh, like that's the Most High put a lock on it. But we can thank the camps for that because, like, the camps made it about, like, goddamn racial politics more than, like, intelligence and shit. But the original movement, it was an intellectual movement. It wasn't about all that other stupid stuff. Like, the original movement was about, like, equal rights and justice for all of humanity. But yes, the intellectual Israelites lead and pave the way. Like the Nazarites are leading and paving the way. Like yo, like I don't know what happened, but that Abba Bivin stuff last night should give you like a little insight into what happened. Basically, like do what the white man does, and then he's teaching them they're Israelites at the same time. Like that's what you see today.
Yeah, that shit crazy. Telling you to basically bow down to your oppressor, or you're gonna be basically you're gonna fall to damnation, bro. That shit crazy. Paul a damn coon of coons. That shit retarded. That shit was straight. That's what it was though. They seen the real shit happening and they was like, how do we stop it? So we gotta do this psyop bullshit, get them back into Christianity in a subtle way. Just give them a black idol, and instead of them going over there, they gonna stay here because we need them here because they built this country. So I mean, yeah, man, they did a number on us. But the pieces gonna be picked back up, puzzles gonna be put together. It's all good.
Well, yeah, like I gave Tahar from GMS too much credit last night. I went and researched it because it didn't feel right what I said. Uh, um, because that original video was found on Tahar's channel, and that's where Quinalawa grabbed it from. But he was like so excited, bro. Like Elder Tahar from GMS was so excited about the video. Like he loved it, bro. They didn't call him King David. They believed that Elder Tahar was the Apostle Paul. It's 1,000 times worse. The niggas really believe that shit, bro. I shit you not.
What the hell Paul called him Mashiach? Where the hell did he get that anyway? Like, I don't even see where he. What the fuck made him think he's. I don't get it, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in the Israelite community. I think it was his way of trying to alter what Paul says by saying he's Paul.
And nobody gave any pushback or vetted them on it. Like, what what qualifies you saying you're Paul, and or even like, why would you even want to be damn Paul of all people? I don't get it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he's been doing this weird stuff for a long time, like since like the 70s, I think.
Him and Yaju gotta link up then, man. Yeah, I'm mad tired though, bro. I'm gonna close this one out. I had to sleep.
God, shalom,
All right,
bro.
so I'm out.